Hello again. Welcome to class 237. 237. Are you ready? Present perfect. The present perfect. Hoy es el presente y es perfecto for you and for me. The present perfect. Things I've done, things you've done, things she's done, things that he's done, etc. People, we have people, things that he's done. How many important things have you done this week? How many important things did you do last week? Last week, I didn't do anything important. And this week, hasta ahora, so far, I haven't done anything important. Last week, I gave 5 classes. This week, I've given 1, 2, 3, I don't know, because I don't know the exact day that this program is on television. So, how many pencils have you used in this class? So far, I haven't used any. Hasta ahora, todavía no he tocado un lápiz. So far, I haven't used or touched any pencils. But in yesterday's class, I used several pencils. Present perfect. Present perfect. How many movies, Richard, have you seen? Me? Yeah. How many films have you seen this month? In the cinema? In the movie theater? I haven't seen any. And last month? I didn't see any. How many movies have you seen on television? How many movies have you seen on television this week? I've seen one, I think, one. And last week, how many movies did you see? Last week I saw maybe 2 or 3. I saw. How many movies have you seen? ¿Cuántas películas has visto? Fijémonos un poco en la pronunciación. Have you, view. ¿Cómo se dice punto de vista? Point of view. Punto de vista. Point of view. Se enlaza of con view. Point of view. 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 Have you. Have you. Have you. Have you. Have you. Es como Javier. Have you. How many films have you seen on television this week? How many times have you gone to Toledo this year? How many times have you flown to London in your life? How many times have you spoken to me about the problems in Angola? How many times have you seen that microphone on this program? Oh, many times. How many times have I? Fíjate, la V de have como cierre de trampolín fonético. How many times have I picked up? Escucha. How many times have I picked up? Claro, se escribe picked up, pero fonéticamente se enlaza. Picked up. Entonces, sonido de T, que no existe ahí. Pick, es una D. Picked, picked up. How many times have I picked up this microphone like this? De esta manera, like this. I've picked up that microphone probably 30 times. In the 167 classes or 168 classes, yes, I've picked up many microphones, many times. How many times, Richard, yes, how many times have you visited the Johnson family in Nebraska? I've visited the Johnson family in Nebraska, in Lincoln only once. How many times have you visited Akimorita in Tokyo? In Tokyo, no. In Osaka, yes. Yes. I spent a week in Osaka with Aki Morita and his family. How many times have you spoken to Anna Barghini on the telephone? I've spoken to Anna only once. I've spoken to Anna only once. Uso el presente perfecto. He hablado con ella una sola vez. Claro, en mi vida hasta ahora. Puede que mañana la llame 8 veces, pero vamos, hasta ahora solo una vez. I've spoken to Anna. I've spoken to Anna on the phone only once. And when did you speak to her? I spoke to her about 4 years ago. 4 years ago, wow. On the telephone, eh? I've spoken to her in person more often. Last year I saw her in Italy. But the last time I spoke to her was maybe 4 years ago. And why did you speak to her? I spoke to her to ask permission, to ask her permission. What did you ask her permission for? What did you ask her? Ask her. Ask her. Pedirla. Pedirle. What did you ask her permission for? I asked her permission to use her and her father for this method. Yes. I said, Anna, I would like to use you and your father and the company, the car seat company, in my Vaughn method. And did she say yes? She said she needed to speak to her father. Did she speak to her father? Yes, she did. She spoke to her father. And did her father call you? No, he didn't. Anna called me. And did she say yes? Yes, of course, she said yes. Have you seen Anna this month? No, I haven't seen her this month. Have you spoken to her this month? No, I haven't spoken to her this month. How many people have you spoken to today? Today I've only spoken to one person, Marta. Oh, it's very early in the morning, eh? Okay, yes. And how many people did you speak to yesterday? I don't remember. I spoke to maybe 10 people yesterday. How many times did you go to a restaurant last week? I went to a restaurant last week twice. And so far this week, hasta ahora esta semana, I've gone to a restaurant only once so far this week. How many fried eggs did you eat yesterday? I didn't eat any fried eggs yesterday. And today? I haven't eaten any fried eggs today. No. And how many important telephone calls did you make yesterday? I didn't make any important telephone calls yesterday. And today? So far, I haven't made any. I haven't made any important telephone calls. En la hacemos. I haven't made any. I haven't made any important telephone calls so far today. And how many times have you gone abroad this year? I don't understand your question. How many times have you gone abroad? How many times have I gone where? Abroad. What's that? Abroad means al extranjero. Oh? How do you say it? Abroad. How do you spell it? Bueno, abroad. A-B-R-O-A-D. Abroad. So how many times have you gone abroad? ¿Qué palabra más rara? Well, to go abroad is ir al extranjero. Salir al extranjero is to go abroad. To go abroad. So how many times have you gone abroad so far this year? I haven't gone abroad so far this year? Wait, yes. Last February. No, last January I went abroad. Where did you go? I went to Paris. Oh. And since then? Since then? Since what? Since the time you went to Paris. Since my Paris trip. Yes, since then. Oh, since then what? Since then, desde entonces. Since, escrito since. Since then, how many times have you gone abroad? I told you. Ya te lo dije. The last time I went abroad was last January. I went to Paris. And since then, pues se entiende que desde entonces, no. Since then, I haven't gone abroad. I haven't gone abroad. And you? Have you gone abroad this year? You haven't? Has Nancy Johnson traveled abroad this year? No, she hasn't. She's very busy in Lincoln, Nebraska with her family and her business. No, she hasn't. Has anybody in your family come to Spain from the States this year? Excuse me. Do you have family in the United States, Richard? Yes, I do. Has anybody, cualquier persona de la familia, has anybody, has anyone, anybody, has anybody from your family in the States come to Spain this year? No. Nobody from my family has come to Spain this year. Did anybody come last year? Yes, 2 people from my family came last year, 2 nephews. And is anybody from your family going to come for Christmas? No, nobody's going to come for Christmas. Are you going to go to the States during the Christmas holidays? No, I'm not. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go to the States. I'm not going to go to the U.S. during the Christmas holidays. No? What are you going to do? When? During the Christmas holidays. What are you going to do during the Christmas holidays? I don't know. I guess I'll stay here. I guess. What does guess mean? Guess. Yes, what does guess mean? Well, guess has 2 meanings. Well, okay, what's the first meaning? The first meaning is adivinar. Yeah, yes. Guess what color the pencil is. Yellow. No. Green. No. Come on, guess. Blue. Correct. It's blue. Guess, adivinar. Yes. But more important is the second meaning, more common. And what's the second meaning? Suponer. I guess. I guess. Normally, but isn't suponer to suppose? Yes, perfect. Suppose is a supposition. Guess is also a supposition. However, guess is often used in resignation. Supongo que no hay más remedio. Supongo que no habrá más remedio. I guess. En este caso, cuando es como resignación, estoy resignado a mi destino, a mi sino. Se dice mucho guess. I guess so. Pues será que sí. Supongo que sí. Oye, tenemos que ir a la boda de verdad. Supongo que sí. En este caso se dice guess, no suppose. Guess. So, supongo que me quedaré aquí durante las Navidades. I guess. Así, más que suppose en este caso concreto. I guess I'll, y se salta al presente simple, más que going to future. I guess I'll stay here. Yes. So, I'm going to stay here. And what are you going to do during the Christmas holidays? I don't know. Read, teach, watch television, watch movies, etc. And have you ever been to Greece? Yes, I have. How many times have you traveled to Greece? I've traveled to Greece twice. I think 3 times? No, twice. I've traveled to Greece twice. When did you go the first time? The first time I went in 1973, January. How long were you there? I was there for about 2 weeks. No, maybe 7, 8 days, 9 days, a week and a half. And when did you go the second time? The second time I went, I think in 1989. Yeah, a long time ago. And how long were you there? I was there for a week. Only a week. And have you ever been to Russia? Yes, I've been to Russia. Really? How many times have you been to Russia? Fíjate si dice cuántas veces. Bueno, primero se dice, ¿has estado alguna vez a Rusia? En inglés se dice tú. No tiene sentido gramatical, pero es así. Si pregunto, have you ever been in Russia? It's correct grammatically. No problem. No problem. But we never say it. 0%. We say, have you ever been to? Have you ever been to? Have you ever been to Russia? Yes, I have. How many times have you been to Russia? I've been to Russia only once. When did you go? Ahora salto al pasado simple. To Russia. I went to Russia in December 1971. Wow. Was it cold? Yes, it was cold. How long were you in Russia? I was there for 3 weeks. I was there for 3 weeks. Did you go to Moscow? Yes, I did. Where else did you go? Where else? I went to Leningrad, which today is called St. Petersburg. And I went to Kiev. But excuse me, Richard, Kiev isn't in Russia. Yes and no. Okay, no. Kiev is the capital of Ukraine. But in 1971 and 1972, because I went to Russia in December and January, Kiev was part of the Soviet Union. Ukraine was one of the Soviet socialist republics. So yes, I visited Ukraine. All right. How many days did you stay in Moscow? I stayed in Moscow for 6 days. And what other countries did you visit during that trip? I also visited England, London, and Finland, Helsinki. Wow, that's a nice trip. Yeah, it was a very nice trip. How old were you when you went to Russia? Let's see, I was 20. I was 20 years old when I went to Russia. Was the weather cold all the time? Yes, it was very cold. Yes. Do you remember many things? Oh, of course. I remember a lot. What do you remember the most? In Moscow, los americanos decimos Moscow. Los británicos Moscow, normally. What do I remember about Moscow? I remember eating ice cream on the corners, selling ice cream. The temperature outside was 10 degrees below zero, and they were selling ice cream on every corner, and it was delicious. Vanilla. A strange vanilla ice cream, but it was delicious. And you eat the ice cream, and you feel better. So you put something cold inside, you don't notice the cold outside as much. Similar to India. In the south of India, in Madras, when the weather is 42 degrees, they drink a very hot tea. And they sweat for a few moments, and then they feel better, cooler. It's the opposite. Well, it's the same concept. with opposite temperatures. That's what I remember the most. That's what. Bueno, entre muchas cosas. They're in Soviet Russia. Eso es lo que más recuerdo. Eso es lo que. ¿Cómo se dice lo que? What. That is, contraigamos, that's what I remember the most. The ice cream. Well, not true. But I remember very well the ice cream, the metro, the subway, the underground. Wow, the people, the crowds. Yes, the smell. I remember a lot of things about that. All right, so the present perfect. To go. Go, went, gone. Every day I go. Yesterday I went. Lately I've gone. La expresión lately, que sí, se traduce por últimamente, o de aquí a esta parte, últimamente, lately, siempre se usa el presente perfecto. Últimamente no he visto a Paco. Últimamente me he sentido un poco cansado. Every day I come here. Yesterday I came here. And lately I've come here. Every day I go home by car from here. Yesterday I went home by car. Lately I've gone home by car every day. Every day I see. Yesterday I saw. Lately I've seen. Every day I touch. Yesterday I touched. Lately I've touched. Verbo regular. Every day I hear. Yesterday I heard. Lately I've heard. Every day I take. Yesterday I took. Lately I've taken. Every day I take Marta home in my car. Every day I take her home after this class. Yesterday I took her home after this class. And I've taken her home every day since the beginning of this program last January. So lately I've taken her home as well. So, vamos a la lista. Let's go to the list of verbs and we can simply practice. Every day I am, yesterday I was, lately I've been. Every day I'm full of energy. Los británicos dicen full of beans. Lleno de alubias. All right. Yeah, every day I'm full of energy. Yesterday I was full of energy. And lately I've been full of energy. And you too. Lo he notado. I've noticed. Me he fijado. I've noticed. Fijarse en algo es to notice. Fíjate, fijaos, fíjate. Fíjate en los libros. Notice the books. O sea, notado. So, I've noticed you're full of energy. Yes. Every day you're full of energy. Yesterday especially you were full of energy. And lately you've been full of energy every day. Yeah. Every day I use this book. Yesterday I used this book. Lately I've used this book in my own special way. Sometimes doing things from here and coming back to give you anticipate something of the future. Every day I begin this class when Marta says go. Yesterday I began this class when Marta indicated, and I've always begun. I have always begun this class when Marta indicated. I have always. Siempre he comenzado esta clase cuando me indicaba Marta. O cuando me ha indicado Marta. I have always begun or started this class. Ahora vamos a enlazar un poco. Vamos a hacer primero la contracción. I've en vez de I have. I've always started. I've always begun. Ahora enlacemos. I've always. Si un marciano estuviera intentando aprender inglés escuchando cómo hablamos, su primera Conclusión sería que existe una palabra que se llama always, always. Porque decir I've always, I've always, I've always, I've always. I go, I come, I've always. ¿Qué significa always? No, es I have always. Luego el verbo. I have always preferred this yellow pencil. I've always used this book in class. I've always come here by car. I've always, you've always, she's always, he's always, they've always, we've always, we've always. So, I've always taught English. I've always taught English to the best of my ability. I've always wanted to be a TV star, and now I am. All my life, I've always. So, I've always begun this class when Marta indicated. Every day I blow up bridges. Yo vuelo puentes. Yesterday I blew up 2 bridges, and lately I've blown up a lot of bridges. But now I have to say goodbye. So, see you tomorrow.